All right, it's Current Events Tuesday.
What are we going to talk about?
In everything.
Oh.
Everything. We're going to explore the mysteries of the universe.
Raccoon stealing bagels.
Where did that happen?
I'm asking you.
Oh, it's probably like the cutest theft ever. But I'm Justin.
And I'm JP.
And we are the Podcasting Dead. Yes, we do talk about The Walking Dead, but we also have a variety of podcasts, such as the one you're listening to now, where we talk about current things that are trending on the internet. Mm-hmm. And wait till after the podcast, because we'll give you our social media information where you can follow us, as well as some Patreon information. If you like what you hear and you want to support the channel, we'll tell you how you can do that, because every penny that goes to Patreon goes right back into this podcast. And we don't mean giving ourselves fly shoes and new clothes. We're talking laptop, editing software, cameras.
Now, wait a minute. I just put a deposit down on a new pair of alligator boots.
That's between you and the store, brother. It ain't coming from the Patreon.
And also keep in mind, you're entered in to win a prize package, which is going to be full of lots of cool stuff.
Oh, yeah. JP came up with that idea himself, and it's a really, really cool idea.
Yep.
A lot of cool stuff to throw in there.
We've got 6 patrons right now. Once we hit 20, we're going to divvy them up. You can enter in at any level, be it $1, be it $500, and you're entered in to win this prize pack.
I mean, if you donate $500, you're more inclined to win. Don't get me wrong.
You'll definitely get some extra love.
I'm just kidding. We're going to take all the names, the first 20 patrons, we're going to put them in a hat, and we're going to draw a name. So, but without further ado, let's get into the crazy world and what's happening right now. Starting out, a little bit of an invasion of privacy. JP, you probably don't know who Alex Rodriguez is, do you?
He's a baseball player.
He is.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. Yes. Well, an embarrassing moment from him, and I found this just on Google. I saw it in Google News. So a picture of him sitting on the toilet in his apartment hit the internet last month. And he's not suing, but he probably will be investing in some good blinds.
Uh-oh.
Because, you got to think, when you live in New York City and your window's open, I mean, it's kind of public domain. I mean, it's a lot of people. You can't really make it illegal to look in. And I think from what I've read, the picture-taking laws are pretty loose there as far as, I mean, you could have just been taking a picture of the window, which is not a crime. And he just happened to be sitting on the toilet taking a deuce behind it.
Oh, man, they caught him in a number 2.
Yep.
It's just insult to injury.
Yeah, not the most flattering of photos. I haven't seen it, but I can't imagine anybody looks too graceful taking a poop. But
well, you've never seen me do it.
And I don't
It's very classy.
I don't ever want to. But he also said that he's glad it was him and not his wife, Jennifer Lopez, or any of their kids. Can you imagine how terrible that would have been?
He was with J-Lo.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I don't really keep up with celebrity couples, but that is one that's easy to forget, I guess.
If you got a chance to see her naked, but the stipulation was she had to be in the midst of doing a number 2, would you still go for it?
I'm good.
All right. It's up to you. I've got the footage. It's just whether you want to see it or not.
I'm good. I'm going to let you keep that.
All right. Well,
Our next...
I've been using it, and it's great.
I'm no telling what you've done with it. Our next story comes from therap.com. So everybody, which this is really just kind of general knowledge, but I haven't watched Jeopardy in a long time, but a lot of people have been following this one guy who's been on like 32 straight wins and won more than $2.4 million.
He's spectacular.
However, he lost.
Oh, man, they finally took him out.
Yeah, he lost out on Jeopardy last night. But that's an impressive run.
Yeah, man. I remember when I was coming up, this blind guy was on an amazing streak. But, they all fall eventually.
Yeah, the new champ is a woman named Emma Bochetter.
The librarian, right?
Maybe. I don't keep up with Jeopardy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't as much as I used to, but man, that used to be a tradition at my grandmother's house. Wheel of Fortune at 7, Jeopardy at 7:30, and then you got your news at 8.
Oh yeah, sound like you're the guy doing the promotion for them.
Yeah, it's great, man. Like Wheel of Fortune was like the fun little hors d'oeuvre, and you got the main course of Jeopardy. Now, some people south of us watch Jeopardy first and then Wheel of Fortune. That's blasphemy, if you ask me. I don't know.
Heathens,
our
right?
listeners, yeah. I don't know how they schedule it where other people live, but no.
Heathens.
Jeopardy's got to be the second dish.
There you go.
Yeah.
So moving forward, JP, you're a man of exquisite fashion. Am I right?
I am. Look at what I'm wearing today.
It's a
I
nice
got pearl
button-up,
snaps. Yeah. I got slacks, New Balance sneakers.
You're rocking it.
Yeah.
Well, I found this. It's an article shared from BroBible.com. Apparently, the hottest summer fashion trend for men right now are, and again, I'm not judging if this is your thing, it's just not my thing, crop tops and tube tops.
Man, I was at the gas station the other day, and this dude was wearing a crop top. It was very off-putting, but he had a great midsection, man. He had like the pelvic lines. I mean,
yeah, I used to have those once upon a time.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was pulling it off better than I would have. He was also wearing eyeliner. I don't know if it was related to the crop top or not.
Yeah, that's
And he tried to break in line at the gas station. Anyway, almost got in a fight with a guy in a crop top. You don't say that every day.
all right. So let's see. I just got a really weird text message. It has to be from a computer. Either it's like Russian slang for they're about to murder me. Justin, just to confirm about my name, it is Kevin. I won't say the last name.
Okay.
Like the vegetables that grow in your garden. See you Thursday around 8. Oh, that's my...
Vegetables that grow in your garden?
That's... Okay, yeah, no, I know what that's really weird.
That sounds...
That's a guy we're interviewing. He's a musician, but that's a little odd. Anyways, so would you rock a crop top or a tube top?
Not in the state I'm in, brother. I think we'd both know that would look pretty nasty.
I mean, to each their own, you know.
My big old round furry tummy.
It is definitely your life, and you can wear what you want, but I will not be joining in on that.
See, man, I don't go in for that. I see the posts on Facebook, girls being like, it's super hot outside, regardless of body type. You have a right to wear whatever you want, and yes, you have the right, but
that don't mean it looks good, right?
This is what I'm saying. Are you really gonna just swelter to death in the heat if you've got like 4 extra inches of fabric on your shirt?
Well, and sometimes
I don't have big beefy arms, so I'm not rocking a tank top. I mean, I'm just not gonna do it.
I don't have big beefy arms. I've got kind of toned. Well, they're not no more. They used to be kind of toned, but I love tank tops. I'll rock tank tops till I die. In the summer, sitting in my backyard drinking a beer.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like if I'm going to the mall or the grocery store,
I typically reserve them
on.
for like the lake, kayaking, my house, and the beach.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right?
Yeah, around the house, man, all bets are off.
Yeah, I don't really wear them out to like Walmart and stuff, unless I've like left the gym and I'm going in to get something to from the store. So yeah, good point.
Just know your lane, that's all.
So, JP, I'm to understand you are a fan of twerking, correct?
I have twerked a bit in my day. I definitely like getting twerked on.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't we all like being twerked on? But so this is coming from CBS 4 in Miami. The cops in Florida, it's more specifically Pembroke Pines, Florida, are looking for a woman who shoplifted more than $300 worth of clothes from a store back in April. And as she grabbed clothes off the shelf and put them in her bag, she was twerking the entire time. You can actually watch the video online, and she's doing some serious dancing in like these super bright yellow pants. Like, I wonder if, because they say common signs of shoplifters are they look nervous and stiff and whatever. So was she just trying to throw the attention away? But cops are trying to track her down, but they haven't found her yet. Here's the video for you and get your reaction. Oh my goodness. Hold on.
Shoplifters caught on surveillance video stealing from a Pembroke Pines store. Cameras inside the Mad Rag clothing store on North University Drive captured one of the suspects twerking through the aisles while pulling.
That's obscene. And I'm telling you, man, another thing with shoplifters, they're going to want to talk to you. Like, they're usually very chatty with staff.
Just trying to look very inconspicuous.
Yeah, I guess they just figure if they like endear themselves to you that you'll,
overlook or.
I guess. I don't know, man. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, they're going to ask you where something is, or, like, boy, it sure is hot out there today, ain't it? Something
It'll be
like
hotter
that.
in the jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't know, man. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, so if you know anything about the twerking thief, please contact authorities in Florida. So moving forward here, I've got a pretty interesting one. So JP, do you use GPS often?
Yeah, I use it on occasion.
Well, apparently, most of us have only had it for about 10 years is when it's been popular. Now pretty much everyone, because I can tell my phone, hey, take me to whatever address, and it just takes me there. But it might not be a good thing. David Barry is the author of a new book called Incredible Journeys that focuses on how different animals navigate, and he thinks that using GPS too much could up your chances for things like Alzheimer's.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, one of the first signs of Alzheimer's is feeling disoriented, and it's because your hippocampus starts to shrink, and that's the part of the brain that helps you to navigate and remember directions. And it can happen even faster if you don't exercise that part of your brain enough.
Dude, these smartphones are killing us, man. They're turning us into just boobs.
Oh, yeah. So, in other words, if you always use GPS, you don't have to remember how to get places, and that part of your brain, shrinks because it's not being used. Kind of like a bicep. You don't use it, it starts to shrink.
Don't get me started on this new 5K they're getting ready to throw at us. That's territory for tomorrow's
5K.
podcast. Like the 5G, whatever the new internet speed.
Oh, yeah,
stuff
5K is like a marathon. You're talking about 5G, like cell phone service, because we're at 4G now. And yeah, I've heard people saying that there's some sketchy stuff with that.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like I said, that's almost its own podcast.
I can't wait. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow in Random Rambling.
But no, I don't think a 5K would be very good for me either. I would keel over and die.
So at this point, that is just a theory. So if you use GPS, don't panic yet. But perhaps maybe to be precautious, maybe start practicing like learning street names as far as directions and navigating yourself, just to keep that part of your brain up and functioning. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm bad about using GPS. It's just so easy. If I've got a meeting with a client, which is why this podcast is going to end here pretty soon, shortly, because I've got a meeting with a client that wants to buy some advertising. But it's just so easy for me to just punch it into the GPS and, hey, I'm here. Let's get you signed up. So, maybe I'll have to. It's a scare. I think all diseases are terrible, man. But Alzheimer's is just it's awful, man. I think like someone you've known and loved your whole life will look at you and not know who you are. It's got to be very,
Yeah, man. I often wonder which would really be the worst to get, Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. Parkinson's, you just deteriorate so rapidly your body, whereas Alzheimer's, your mind goes. Both incurable. They've probably made more progress with Parkinson's, but I don't know. Michael J. Fox has definitely held on for quite a while.
Yeah, he has. It makes me sad to think about. All right, so moving on, JP, you don't drink much coffee. I used to drink a lot.
I'm not a coffee guy. No.
Have you noticed in the last month I've went to drinking water a lot more in the mornings than coffee?
That's true, man. Yeah, I've seen a lot fewer frappuccinos up in here.
Yeah, I usually get
macchiatos, whatever.
Well, I like the frozen caramel frappes, but I mean, usually I used to always just come in with a cup of regular old McDonald's coffee in the morning.
Yeah, that's true.
However, if you drink a lot of coffee, don't worry, it's not going to hurt you too bad. According to CNN, if you drink a lot, it looks like your heart's probably not going to randomly explode. A new study out of Queen Mary University in London found that it's safe for your heart if you drink an obscene amount of coffee on a daily basis. The researchers found that people could drink up to 25 cups a day without having any extra risk of hardening their arteries or having a stroke or heart attack. With that being said, just because you can, though, doesn't mean you should.
Right. My granny Nana was telling me something like this the other day, and believe me, you cut that woman, she bleeds coffee. And she was saying that some study said that people who drink a lot of coffee and are under a lot of stress or have something to worry about, no matter what it is, generally live longer. So she's going to live to be like 120.
Let's see.
She's always worried, and she be drinking coffee and smoking Misty Lights, and that's pretty much it. She doesn't eat or drink water, just coffee and cigarettes.
Yeah, so basically if you have 2 cups and you usually want a third cup, you can go to that third cup. Maybe don't do 25, but just know that, you're going to be okay if you have that extra cup of coffee or 2 during the day. Your breath might be kicking, but, your heart's going to be fine. So before we go, we got 2 things we usually like to try to do: dumb criminal news and some good news. So let's knock those out. And I do apologize for this podcast being a bit shorter, but we do have to.
We gotta get back to work,
and we've got 5 meetings today, company corporate meetings. So it's gonna be hard to,
Michael Scott kind of meetings where they're basically pointless.
Yep. So this one is going to be very mature content. So if you're under 18, maybe not listen to this, or just don't tell your mom you listen to it. But so check it out. This right here is pretty bizarre. So this is coming in for our dumb criminal news. A guy in New York City had some wild S&M sex with a dude he met on a gay dating app called Grindr.
Is there video?
On Friday. No, JP, there's not video. But when he criticized his date's small package, the guy stole $3,000 and bailed, and he couldn't yell for help because of a ball gag. The cops are trying to track down his date. So basically, the lesson in all of this is not necessarily not to hook up from dating sites. The lesson in this is don't make fun of someone's private parts while they're still in your house.
Yeah, especially if you're all strapped up and stuff.
You get with a man that has a small winky, or a woman who you find not appealing, be it her top or bottom area. Keep that to yourself or don't say it out loud till they leave your apartment, because they might just rob your apartment while you're bound and gagged.
You're absolutely right. Whether it's a small penis or a really overly large vagina, just keep it to yourself.
Right. Just keep it to yourself and maybe your little gossip circles.
Right.
But don't say it out loud while they're there, especially not when you're bound and gagged, which makes me wonder. So if he had a bob in his mouth or whatever, did he say you have a small penis and he was like still tied up, and then the guy put that in his mouth? Or because how if he had that in his mouth, he's like, you have a small penis. Like, I want to know how that transpired.
And I mean, when you're doing that stuff, isn't like demeaning the other person kind of part of it?
Hold on. This is from the New York Post, and I found more details on this.
Oh, boy.
So he criticized his date's small junk. The date got mad, choked the guy, and put him in a closet. And the guy thought it was part of their sex game until the dude straight stole $3,000 and dipped out.
Whoa.
He wanted to scream, but like I said, he had a ball gag in his mouth that was being held in place by a jock strap, so he couldn't. Very, very interesting. He ended up getting free and calling the cops. They took the gloves, toys, and sex swing as evidence, and they're going to track down. So now not only is this guy out $3,000, the cops took all of his cool sex toys.
Man.
Damn. Give the guy a break. All right, so our last story, we always like to try to find something good and positive to share with you because, of course, mainstream media would have you just think the world's going to hell. But it's really not. There's lots of really good people out there, and we just love to give them a little bit of a spotlight. Mm-hmm. So this one is coming to us from WSB. I found it on Yahoo, but it's being shared by People, WSB, and WAFB. So here, this is a really important reminder that, you've got to watch your kids this summer. It's easy to go to the pool or go somewhere and just to let them go, right? But a 3-year-old kid was in the pool at an apartment complex near Atlanta 3 weeks ago, and her aunt was there with her, but didn't notice when she slipped out of the pool float and went under, which is really scary because I've
dude, I saw that video.
Did
man.
you? Yeah,
it was
I hadn't
horrific.
seen the video, but which the video, they didn't include it with the story, but I mean, people don't realize, man, I haven't had a lot of lifeguard training, but I've, a little bit, and I know that they say drowning does not look like it does in the movies. There's very rarely thrashing and help. Usually they're already under, and you don't know they're drowning. And,
she had the inner tube around her waist. She jumps in and kind of like jackknifes, and her feet are above the water, and the other, basically the half of her body is supposed to be above the water is underwater, and vice versa.
Horrible.
Dude, oh my God, it was hard
terrifying.
to watch.
Luckily, her 10-year-old sister saw her about 2 minutes later, jumped in the pool and pulled her out, and their aunt and the apartment manager started doing CPR. The police sergeant named Ed was one of the first responders on the scene, and he took over on the CPR, and the footage is pretty intense. There's one angle from the security camera and then one from Ed's chest cam. The girl showed up in the ER in critical condition, but she made it. She spent 2 weeks in the hospital, but doctors think she's going to make a full recovery. Her mom wasn't at the pool when it happened, but she's proud of her daughter. Jayla is the sister that jumped in and saved her. But she says she hopes the story will help other parents remember to keep a closer eye on their kids this summer. True story. Before we go, this is 100% true and 100% terrifying, and I still remember it extremely vividly. So one time we were at my mom and dad's friend's house, and my mom and dad always did a good job of keeping their eye on us. But if you're a parent and you have multiple kids, there are times where one may slip away from you. It just happens. Well, my little sister was like a toddler. So this means I was like 3 maybe. Mm-hmm. But I remember her falling into the pool, and she couldn't swim.
Yeah.
And she did learn how to swim, at a very young age, but this wasn't that point. And I remember she fell in, and I ran in and told my parents, because I don't know if I could swim at that point either. And they had to go in and save her and everything. But yeah, I've been through something a little, not quite that intense, but it's horrifying. I've seen how easily, you can just lose track of your kids for a second and disaster strikes.
I've had some close calls with the water stuff, man. Like never to the point where I had to be rescued, but there's been, and we won't get into that here, but it's a scary thing, man, not being able to breathe. It's
I believe
really
that's my biggest fear, man. Probably more than heights is drowning. I love the water. I swim quite often, but I am terrified of drowning. Mm-hmm. I don't do much underwater. I go underwater some, but you won't catch me staying there long.
When you feel that water just pulling you down and you're starting to get tired and you're struggling.
What was this, at a lake?
Yeah, man. Some lady in a jet ski. Me and 3 of my buddies were in a paddle boat, and she flips the paddle boat. I mean, it's fall, so I'm flannel shirt, jeans, boots. And, it was a good, 100 yards maybe to get to the shore. Maybe.
Did the boat sink?
No, it just kind of capsized. Like there wasn't any getting back on it, and I've got all my fishing gear like in my hands, trying my best to keep it and get to shore. And I'm not good at guesstimating distance, but it was kind of a butthole puckering experience. I was like, that easily could have went left.
Jeez, I believe it. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this podcast. Remember to subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Social media info before we go. I'm Justin Lloyd. I'm Justin Lloyd, all lowercase, no spaces, no apostrophes. That's my Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. I'm Justin Lloyd. JP.
Jpslim on Periscope, J_Radsaw on Instagram. And check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/thepodcastingdead. Shout out to our newest patrons, Nancy McKnight and Jeffrey Gosnell. I guess I said that right.
Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah, all our patrons are awesome. We're going to hook you up with some cool stuff sooner than you think. We love you. And
Amen. We'll see you tomorrow for Random Rambling Wednesday. I'm Justin.
And I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead.